That's the only thing too, is like if you wanted to do two different colors. Like this is a nice combo.
You know, these companies have made their money from exploiting people and from exploiting the environment. That's how they make profit. Companies that have pioneered this fast fashion model have basically figured out how to get a product from design to market in under a month, sometimes in a week. And the reason is because what they'll do is they'll produce, 10,000 pieces or something and just put it in the stores and test it in the stores. Now, as you can imagine, that is wreaking havoc on the fashion industry. Dyeing is a huge contributor to the pollution in the fashion industry. Fabrics are bought from China that are dyed in traditional dye houses that have polluted over 70% of China's waterways irrevocably. And these toxins that go into the water cause cancer in the communities that are surrounding them, and it's a really huge problem. Typical garment factories are creating waste in the form of scraps that are cut off during the cutting process. All of that together is a massive amount of waste. And fast fashion has really sped up the waste that's occurring. A lot of it is getting destroyed by burning in Cambodia, and because these fabrics are mostly petroleum-based, that's basically letting these huge amounts of toxins into the air. Some of the fabrics, wind up in landfills, going into waterways. Small microplastics also sort of come apart and go into the water and make their way into the ocean. Some of it winds up in secondhand markets where we find this fabric and then reuse it. Tolnay is a zero-waste fashion brand. We take scraps that come from larger garment factories and we make them into new pieces using every single scrap. We get the scraps that are left from our production, we ship them up here, and then they cut and make them into the yarn and then weave them into the new fabrics. And they send the fabrics back to us, and then they get sewn into final garments. We're sourcing fabrics that are already pre-dyed, so we're not creating a new demand for new materials that have to be dyed. But when we do want to add, unique colors to our collection, we use natural dyes. Most of them are even edible, like turmeric or lemon juice, soy milk, and iron.
It's a completely natural dye, but it's also the color that they would traditionally use to dye monks' robes.
We need a cultural shift. If we first of all, look at the things that we're buying and really think about what goes into them and where they come from, and really own that and really see your part in creating this industry. There are a lot more companies that are starting to get on board with this, and it's really exciting to see that movement, but I still think we have a long way to go. When I look at a traditional fashion product in a store, I don't see what the fashion industry wants me to see, which is this beautiful object. I see the factories where it was made and the lives of the people that are suffering. I see the raw materials being produced and the waste that's being generated. I see the dirty rivers that are being polluted by this product, and I cannot see that product as beautiful when I know that it wasn't produced in a beautiful way.